Welcome in, everyone, to Lively Lewis Stories.
That's right, we're back with even more awesome adventures with Levi and Ivy.
Set your storytime meter to fun and get ready to join the Lively Lewis crew.
All you need is your imagination and...
Off we go! I can't wait to see where our story takes us today.
Have you ever wanted to get more Lively Lewis in your life?
Well, we've got you covered.
Grab an adult and zoom over to livelylewisshop.com.
Or just click on the link in our show notes.
Enough about that. Let's get to today's super Lively Lewis story.
Ivy, are you all set? Called out Levi as he placed a couch cushion on the floor. Give me 2 more seconds, called back Ivy as she grabbed a few throw pillows and tossed them around the playroom. I think I'm almost finished. As Levi looked around the playroom, he nodded his head in agreement as he gazed out over the floor covered in cushions, pillows, blankets, and books. I think this looks perfect, and we should be set to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, exclaimed Levi as he looked at Ivy with wide eyes, and they both yelled, "The floor is lava!" As their words sailed through the air, so did they, both jumping toward a platform to protect them from the imaginary lava that was flooding their playroom. Levi leapt to a couch cushion as Ivy hopped over to a pillow nearby. Remember to keep moving, instructed Levi as he skipped and bounced from one cushion to the next. The lava keeps rising, so we have to keep moving up. I've got it, Levi, answered Ivy. Let's remember who the reigning floor is lava champion is after all. It's me, in case you forgot. I still say my foot never touched the floor in that last game, said Levi as he carefully made his way toward his toy chest and jumped on top of it. You'd better hop onto something a little further off the ground, Ivy, or you're gonna have some hot feet. Don't worry about me, called out Ivy as she used all her strength and agility to fly toward the couch. She thought she was safe as her feet landed on the arm of the couch. But she quickly felt herself slipping toward the ground. This happened because she had unknowingly landed on a blanket that was making her slide toward the steaming lava below. And even though this would have meant Levi would win this round of the floor is lava, he couldn't watch Ivy fall. He quickly grabbed a pillow next to him on the floor and tossed it under his sister before her foot touched down. You're still safe, called out Levi. And you're welcome. That was really nice of you, said Ivy as she caught her balance and finally made her way onto the couch. Well, I figured since we're gonna play Floor is Lava as a team when Kenton and Roro get here, I should start trying to help you now, said Levi with a smile. You help me? Just so you know, that's the last time I'll need any help, said Ivy as she hopped from the couch to a chair nearby. She continued her journey jumping from one platform to the next with ease, and in no time, she had reached the doorway and had escaped the bubbling lava. And that's how you win the floor is lava, giggled Ivy with a big smile on her face. Levi just stared at his sister with a look of confusion on his face. His baby sister was getting really good at this game, maybe even better than him. But he could never let her know that he thought that. Yeah, another lucky win, said Levi. You know you would have been out if I didn't save you when you slipped on that blanket. Well, you did save me, and I did win. And that is all that matters, said Ivy as she raised her hand in victory. Levi exhaled deeply and jumped off the couch cushion he was standing on just as the doorbell rang. At that moment, both Levi and Ivy forgot all about their game, or who had won or lost, and happily exclaimed, "They're here!" Knowing exactly who was waiting behind their front door, Levi and Ivy ran out of their playroom as fast as they can. Their mom had already gotten to the door, and before they could take another step, their best friends, Roro and Kenton, walked into their house. The two immediately ran over to Levi and Ivy and gave their best friends a big hug. It had been weeks since they had seen each other, and they had been waiting for this playdate forever. As soon as they knew they'd be seeing each other, they planned to play their favorite Roblox game together all afternoon. The Floor is Lava. That was the reason Levi and Ivy had been practicing so much in real life, as well as in the game. They felt as if they practiced in real life too, it would give them an advantage once they got to the virtual Roblox game. Roro, it's so great to see you, called out Levi as he and his best friend did their secret handshake. You too, dude, exclaimed Roro. I've got my tablet right here and I'm ready to play. Hi, Kintin, called out Ivy as she jumped around excitedly with her best friend. Hi, Ivy. It's so great to see you. Just sorry that Roro and I will have to beat you and Levi so badly at the floor is lava in just a little bit, giggled Kintin. Both girls laughed because they knew their competition was all in good fun, and they were just excited to spend the day together. But before they could run off and play, Levi and Ivy heard a little squeaky voice. It wasn't Rowan, and it wasn't Kintin. It was their baby sister, Swayze. Levi and Ivy love Swayze, but they knew if she was around that they couldn't have the afternoon they were all anticipating because she would have to play with them as well. And while Swayze was adorable, she was also much younger than Roro, Kintin, Levi, and Ivy, which meant she didn't play Roblox. Sorry, we didn't know Swayze would be coming along today, whispered Roro. My mom said we have to let her play with us for a bit, but not the whole time. We hope that's okay, added Kintin. Totally fine, said Levi. We'll make it work, added Ivy. I'm sure she'll love watching us play Floor is Lava. The four best friends all smiled and said goodbye to their moms and ran off to the playroom with Swayze toddling behind them. Not wanting to waste any time, they all grabbed their tablets, popped open Roblox, and got right to it. Roro and Kintin grabbed a few toys for Swayze that were laying around the playroom, hoping that would keep their baby sister busy as they started their game. That's when Roro and Kinley noticed the state of the playroom and knew immediately that Levi and Ivy had been practicing. Wow, you two look like you've set up quite the lava course in here, said Roro, sounding a bit nervous to play them in the floor is lava in Roblox. Now I'm thinking Kintin and I should have practiced a bit more. Oh, don't worry. We'll go easy on you, laughed Levi as he high-fived his sister. The four best friends turned their attention to their tablets and were ready to start. Acting as teams, they were each trying to stay in the game the longest on each level to win. But before they could start, Kintin and Roro looked like they had something very important to say. I just can't wait any longer to tell you both, started Kintin. Go ahead, said Roro with a big smile. We found a Roblox Floor is Lava code the other day that makes the levels way cooler, said Kintin. Yeah, it's amazing. I don't know how I stumbled onto it, but each level is way better. I'm talking more obstacles, trickier platforms, and way more lava. It's so fun. Sounds great to us, answered Ivy as Roro and Kintin gave her and Levi the mysterious code as they started the game. It looks like we're all ready to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, said Levi right before everyone yelled out. Say it with me, guys. The floor is lava. As soon as they started, Roro, Kintin, Levi, and Ivy all turned their attention to the game, which meant no one was paying attention to Swayze. The first few levels went by quickly, and the four best friends all managed to stay lava-free. This new code is so cool, said Levi as they continued to play. The four best friends hurried up ladders, ran upstairs, climbed buildings to get away from the flowing, super hot lava with ease level after level. I thought it would be a bit harder, said Ivy as she easily made it through another level. And at that moment, the game seemed to freeze, and not just on Ivy's tablet, but on all four tablets. Hey, what's going on? Called out Roro and Kintin. Yeah, my tablet just froze. Ivy's too, said Levi. It was at that moment that all four of them noticed a text box appear on their screens. The text read, Super hard floor is lava levels unlocked with this code. Super Lava Champions. Only for the best of the best. All four of them looked at each other with wild excitement in their eyes. Of course, they would have to try these new hidden lava levels that they had somehow unlocked. So with everyone in silent agreement, they all pressed the start button in the center of the screens on the count of 3. And once they did, things got wild, to say the least. A bright flash of light filled the playroom, and they all closed their eyes. What was that? Called out Levi as he stood up and opened his eyes. What he and everyone else saw next was nothing they could have imagined. Levi looked around, as did Roro, Kintin, and Ivy, and saw each other, but they didn't quite look the way they normally did. Instead, they looked like Roblox characters, called out Roro. We all look like Roblox characters, repeated Kintin, sounding completely stunned, but also really excited. But that feeling of excitement and awe only lasted a minute when all of a sudden Levi noticed something. Hey, everyone, I know it's super cool that we're in the Roblox world, But we need to get up higher because... Levi began as he pulled his best friend and sister up a flight of stairs next to him. That's when they watched the floor as they were standing on turning into hot, bubbling lava. Of course, said Ivy. We jumped into Roblox, but more specifically into the floor is lava game. The four best friends stared in amazement as the lava flowing around them, then quickly realized they had to play their virtual game for real and find out how to get back home. But just when it seemed like all they could handle, they heard a little squeaky voice. They all knew immediately who it was. Swayze! Yelled Roro as she ran over and grabbed her baby sister who was playing happily near the top of the staircase they were all standing on. Swayze got pulled into the game too? She wasn't even playing, said Kenton. I guess when the magic light filled the room, anyone in there was brought here, said Ivy. Well, I think we'll have to talk about this later because right now we need to concentrate a bit more on the rising lava, explained Levi as everyone, along with little Swayze, ran to the top of the staircase. With only a few seconds left of the level, everyone stood on their tiptoes as the lava got closer and closer. Then, as quickly as it appeared, the lava disappeared, transporting the four best friends and little Swayze to another level of the game. It was clear at that point that Roro, Kenton, Levi, and Ivy had to work together as a team of four to get themselves and little Swayze back to the playroom as soon as possible. They knew if they got transported there through a magic portal that there had to be a way to get back. They just had to find it, and that meant beating level after level, hoping that their prize for defeating the game would be a magic transport back to the real world. As level after level passed by, the four fearless lava leapers were tested with increasing lava and dangerous obstacles. But luckily for everyone, Levi and Ivy had been practicing for this. They just didn't know it at the time. As they followed each other, jumping from one platform to the next, they noticed that this was no ordinary floor is lava game. It was the toughest one any of them had ever played. As they hopped from platform to platform, some would stay solid and allow them to land easily, while other platforms would disappear mid-hop, causing the first one to leap to scramble to another platform mid-air. Other platforms would grow smaller and smaller as they stood on them, causing the four best friends and little Swayze to make their next move quicker and quicker as the levels went on. This is getting real tough, but I know we can do it, said Levi. We're almost at the last level. We just need to keep up this great teamwork, added Ivy. Roro and Kenton, who were holding their baby sister, smiled at their best friends, knowing that following Levi and Ivy was their best bet at getting back sooner than later. The second to last level looked easy at first, leading Roro, Kenton, and Levi and Ivy to let their guard down. But as they did, they heard a rumbling sound. Oh no, whispered Roro. I think I know what that is, and we're not gonna be happy if I'm right. I think I know too, said Kenton as she hugged Swayze tight. You don't think it's, started Levi. Lava monster? Cried Ivy as she waved her arms in her air to get everyone's attention to follow her. The four best friends and little Swayze hopped from one moving, shrinking, and disappearing platform to the next. Ivy waved to everyone ahead of her as she readied herself to jump onto a set of stairs and meet up with them. She just hoped the level would be over quickly after that and they would only have one last level to complete. But as Ivy sailed through the air, over the head of the lava monster, her foot was set to land perfectly on the stairs. However, as her foot touched down, she felt herself slipping backwards, just like she had done when she had landed on the blanket playing the game earlier with Levi. Levi! Ivy called out. Her brother, seeing her falling, knew exactly what to do. Earlier in the game, he had used some of his Robux to buy a few things he felt his team may need. And it's a good thing he did. Levi reached into his Roblox bag of tricks and pulled out a giant pillow. Without hesitation, he tossed the pillow and it landed perfectly under Ivy, who bounced off of it and right back onto the stairs. She ran up to the top of the staircase to join everyone else, and in a matter of seconds, the level had ended and they were almost home. Thank you so much, Levi, said Ivy. I could care less if I beat you all the time at the floor is lava. It doesn't matter. You're truly the best player ever. Levi smiled, and before he could thank his sister, Roro called out, Look over there! Levi, Ivy, Kenton, and Swayze all spun around and were so happy to see what Roro was pointing at. It was a giant light portal off in the distance. It was waiting at the end of the final level and was their way home. We only have a few seconds before the next level starts, began Levi. Let's keep working together and we'll be home in no time. No matter what, just keep going, added Ivy. And as they all huddled together, the rumbling noise caused by the lava monster started up again. They readied themselves for whatever was coming next and watched as the lava began to flood the floor they were standing on. They quickly scurried up the side of a building nearby and jumped from one platform to the next. This led them to a giant bridge which they climbed to the top of, always keeping an eye on the light portal that was getting closer and closer in the distance. I can't believe it! We're almost there! Shouted Kenton as she held Swayze close. But it was obvious very quickly that Kenton had gotten too excited too soon. The bridge began to shake, and pieces of it began to fall into the lava. However, other parts of the giant bridge fell into the sky and settled there, creating a hopscotch to the light portal. The pieces of the broken bridge were much smaller than the normal platforms they were all used to. But the four cousins, along with little Swayze, knew it was their only way home. They all had to act quickly as the lava monster started to leap out of the lava, getting closer and closer with each step. We can do this, called out Levi. Just follow me. With no other alternative, Roro, Kenton, and little Swayze and Ivy each followed Levi as he hopped from one bridge piece to the next as it swayed in midair. The four best friends and little Swayze kept their focus before they knew it and had reached the light portal. As a team, they turned around to face the final floor's lava level in Roblox, knowing they had worked as a team to beat it. As the lava monster raced toward them, they decided it was officially time to go, and without hesitation, they jumped into the portal, landing back in Levi and Ivy's playroom. As they all sat on the floor, which was no longer made of lava, they all stared at each other, unable to speak. And as they sat there catching their breath, Levi and Ivy's dad walked into the playroom. "Hey, kiddos, how about you put down those tablets and play a game in the real world?" suggested Levi and Ivy's dad. They all sat there for another few seconds, saying nothing at all, and then they all burst out laughing. "Okay, Dad," laughed Levi. "Yep, no more tablets for us today," giggled Ivy. "That's for sure," said Roro and Kenton as Swayze crawled around them, giggling too. "I don't know what you're all laughing at, but I'm glad you're having a good time," said Levi and Ivy's dad as he left the playroom more than a little confused. For the rest of the day, the five best friends all played together outside. They had definitely had enough Roblox for quite a while. And playing the floor as lava in Levi and Ivy's backyard was way more fun without the lava monsters.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned a little something too.
And since we know everyone has their own story, we'd love to hear yours.
If you have an idea for a Lively Lewis story, leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, your idea, and your little one's name.
Then maybe our next adventure will be with you.
Until our next Storytime Hangout.
Thanks for listening. We can't wait to share another fun, Lively Lewis story with you.